Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast, the place for smart, simple strategies that will amplify your business results. Sharing practical tips, insider knowledge, and actionable advice because marketing is something that every business owner can do. Now, let's get started. Introducing your host, Bianca McKenzie, mum, lover of snow sports, camping, horse riding, and in-demand launch strategist and Facebook advertising knowledge bank.
Hello and welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast. Okay, it's mid-March and on the 6th of this month, we welcomed our baby boy into this world. He was very speedy, giving us barely enough time to get to the hospital. But the first weeks with him at home have been a massive adjustment, but I've been loving it. He's a pretty relaxed baby, so we're really lucky. All right, a few weeks ago in episode 72, I spoke about improving your website to improve your conversion rate. And in today's episode, I want to talk about improving your eComm abandoned cart rate. So first up, I want to say that abandoned carts are normal. Not everyone is going to check out and buy from your store, and that's okay. That's all part of being in business. Secondly, there are benchmarks or average numbers for abandoned cart rates that you should be familiar with so that you limit your disappointment and know that your store is performing at a certain level. But first, let's talk about what abandoned carts actually mean. So basically, it's when someone visits your store and adds something to their shopping cart but doesn't check out, aka they don't purchase and they leave the store. The average abandoned cart rate of an e-commerce store is 68%. So out of 100 people adding something to their cart, 68 are going to leave their cart and not purchase. And that seems like a really high number, and it's why e-commerce store owners are often disheartened, and I totally understand it. So let's look at ways to improve your store so more people check out. Your first task is to look at what your abandoned cart rate actually is. And you can find this by looking at the number of adds to cart minus the number of purchases divided by the number of adds to cart times 100. And this will give you a percentage. So look at that number, see if it is higher or lower than 68 or around the 68, because it gives you a bit of an idea where you're standing. So now that you've got your starting point, and I recommend that you measure it regularly to see if you're going up or down, the next step is to look at ways to decrease your abandoned cart rate. And we can do this by looking at on-site conversion assists and off-site conversion assists. The first one is all about what happens when people are on your website, and the second one focuses on what happens when people leave your website. So to look at your on-site conversion assists, you can look at a number of things on your website, such as shipping costs. If you've ever shopped online, and you probably have, you're most likely familiar with shipping, and you might feel a certain way about it. I know most people do. Most people actually don't like surprises, and unexpected shipping costs is one of the top reasons why people abandon their carts. So that's why you need to be upfront about your shipping costs, and ideally create a way for people to access free shipping. So whether it is by creating a value above, a certain amount, that shipping is free, or you can offer a flat rate as long as you are upfront about it and there's no unexpected costs or no hidden costs, because people will leave. So the next one is know, like, and trust. And as marketers, speak about the know, like, trust factor a lot. And by the time people start adding to their carts, they're most likely at the trust stage. They might have been following your brand for a while and are now ready to take the next step. Or are they? So another top reason people abandon their carts is because of the lack of trust. They need to trust that the product you're selling is as good as you say it is, And that's why your copy, your messaging, your images, and all of the information you have on your website needs to address people's objections. They need to know what their options are if they don't like it. They need to know what will happen when they order. How long will it take for them to receive it? What are all the steps involved? They just need to know the entire process. So you need to spell it out for them. People also need to know that their details are safe, that their payments are safe, and that the product will arrive and it is what you say it is. There are a lot of scammers online and a lot of people have been burnt. So you need to be as transparent as you possibly can be. So address all of this on your website with copy, with badges, with testimonials and other elements that show that you can be trusted. Another thing is testimonials. One of the biggest ways to show that you can be trusted is by giving social proof. Show people that others have bought your product and were happy with it, and don't make it up, because that's a no-no. Ask your buyers for testimonials and get them to rate and review your products. The more testimonials and the ratings, the better. The next way to improve your abandoned cart rate is to look at what you can do off-site. So once people have left your website. And not each abandoned cart is because the person didn't want to buy from you. There are many reasons why someone abandons their cart. They could be shopping on their phone but want to check out on their computer. This is me, by the way. Or maybe their kids call them away. Also me. Or maybe they're overwhelmed with the choices and they need more time to think about it. Or it could be something else. Life gets in the way. They might still want to buy from you, but they'll forget because life is busy. And this is where off-site conversion tactics come into play. And it's up to you to convince them to come back to your site and finish what they started. One way to do this is by email sequences and automations. So abandoned cart emails are super powerful. So make sure you set these up to go out automatically. As soon as someone abandons their cart, your system should send an email to remind them to check out. I recently got distracted at the checkout, and after 3 emails from the business, I finally managed to prioritize buying the product and hand over my money. So these sequences really do work, and not just on me. There's strong data that shows that abandoned cart emails are really effective. So get it set up. Another one is Facebook and Instagram retargeting ads. So now we're venturing into my territory. Facebook and Instagram ads can be super powerful too in terms of reminding people to check out. Have you ever gone to a website, shopped around, then browsed Facebook to see the exact product you looked at just before? So that's actually Facebook retargeting at work. And it's one of my favorite ways to use Facebook ads for e-commerce. You can use Facebook and Instagram ads to deliver specific ads to people who have abandoned their cart. And if you're curious to know how to set this up, download my free guide. I'll walk you through it step by step. And I'll put the link for that in the show notes so you can get it there. Abandoned cart ads generally don't need a large budget because the audience is quite narrow and small, and they often generate a high return on ad spend. So it's literally one of my favorite ads to run for e-commerce. And you can set it up too with my guidance for free. How exciting. So retargeting ads are generally the first type of ads that we set up for clients because they tend to do so well. So if your abandoned cart rate is high, and high is over 68%, otherwise you're pretty average in terms of the abandoned cart rate, not your shop. Your shop is amazing. But if it is high, get started on some of these ways to improve it. And even if it's 68%, even if it's around the average, still go through it all because there might be some ways that you can improve it. And that's a bonus, right? So to recap, look at your shipping costs. Make sure there's no surprises there. Look at your ways to build and instill trust. People need to really be able to trust, and you need to spell it out because they are not in your store physically. They can't really, they're not there to pick it up and things like that. So they need to know that they can trust you and that it's going to arrive and that it's going to be the way it's described and everything. So look at your ways to build and instill trust. Add social proof to your website, and also take things off-site by setting up automated emails and give Facebook and Instagram ads a go. Alrighty, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of the New School of Marketing podcast. I hope it was helpful, and I can't wait to share more marketing tips with you next week. If you're ready to take your business to the next level with Facebook and Instagram advertising, make sure you visit newschoolofmarketing.com to download practical free resources, plus subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Until next time, take care and market your business every day.